Hey there, Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, Taurus Rising. Welcome to your reading for December 5th through the 11th. We have a full moon that's coming up this week in the sign of Gemini. So if you're a Taurus Rising, that's actually in your house of what you value, self-worth, self-esteem, finances, which is basically what your sign is all about. So this is an opportunity to complete a cycle of some sort that's going to make a big change or a difference in your world. Interesting. Okay. All right. Cards are jumping. Okay. You have the card here for your overall energy for the week. Here is wind. The winds of change are blowing through your life. I know you know that. North Node in your sign. You're still in the energy of those eclipses. Big shifts and changes, and this is the first full moon that's happened after the eclipse in your sign. So it's carrying through some of that energy. You're being encouraged to find balance in the middle of the change. So while everything is shifting and changing, your ability to navigate through this energy, staying in balance is going to be really important. You have the card of the Two of Pentacles, transformation of the butterfly energy. And so to me, butterfly transformation is always about things that are changing in the 3D world. So you could be making a change in your career, where you live, something around finances for sure. It is maybe you have, you're completing like say you were a college student, it would be the end of the semester, right? It is something that's coming to a conclusion. There's a need to create some balance in that energy this week. And so that means have fun and work. Have fun and work. You're juggling more things. And the more you keep things, I want to say that you stay in stride, the more comfortable it's going to be for you. So I just did Aries reading, and they also had this card at the center. The key to the situation is this Emperor energy. And in your case, this is your ability to create, to root, to put your roots down, to create stability in the middle of all this change. And yet, I want to say stay flexible. So much like a palm tree, a pine tree will kind of move with the wind, right? It's not like the oak tree that can get totally blown over in a strong windstorm. Pine trees tend to move a little. It's a softer wood. It's a little easier to move, and because of the way the branches are, the wind will move through it without actually pulling it down and knocking it over. And quite often, pine trees will sustain their ability to stay in the upright position. If you notice, they're in these areas where the landscape is harsh and the winds are high, right? But yet, in these higher elevations of the mountains, they're standing. And I think that mountain, if you look at it this way, the mountain is the pinnacle. It is the opportunity to climb, to achieve, to create something in your life. And how are you going to transform the situation? By putting your roots down and really in some way establishing. These roots here don't show up very deep. The tree is really tall and yet doesn't really depict the deep root system. But how do you transform the situation? You have the Three of Pentacles. So moving from the Two of Pentacles, what you're transforming, to this mountain. And this shows roots at the base of the mountain. So the more stable of a structure you create, the higher you can go. The more the spread of the root system on a pine tree, the higher it can grow. And so pine roots will go, they have a small root base, but they go deep. And so it's really setting your foundation nice and sturdy and deep. And it's going to be deep in the area of, I almost feel like it's like networking and communicating with others. You have another butterfly showing up here. Very interesting. So this is the preparation for the opportunity for expansion. And I feel like you've been trying to have it all, right? Emotional satisfaction and career opportunity and all these things, because the obstacle here being the Ten of Cups. This is what you're trying to achieve, But when it's an obstacle, I wonder if your definition of what is your Ten of Cups is shifting. There's a choice and a decision that needs to be made. You're aware of this. You've been sitting on it for a while. It's almost like answering the call of your soul to do something. And when the North Node is in our sign, we feel the call of destiny to be moving in a direction about something. I came here to do this. This is who I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is where I'm supposed, like all those, they get churned up, and it's this desire to find our place in the universe. And here in the area of what's decreasing your energy, it's the card of the Judgment. And so it means a couple of things. It could mean that other people judging your choices and your decisions is depleting your energy. You judging yourself, like I shouldn't have done this right, I should have done that, or whatever. You harsh judgments in the heart space that you're taking in, that could be decreasing your energy. And so unconditional love and forgiveness of yourself and others, they don't know what's going on with you. So whatever they see, it doesn't really matter. So what do you feel about yourself, and what do you feel about what you're trying to accomplish, and what do you feel about where you're going? So that matters, right? But it matters that you look at this with this energy of, it was all growth opportunity. I'm learning more about myself. I'm on my journey. I'm moving in a direction. And so the more that you are kind to yourself and forgiving of yourself for not being perfect every time, because none of us are, then it becomes also easier for you to be less judgmental of other people. So something around this judgment here. The other thing is, it could be that you can feel the call of destiny, and you're like, but I've invested so much time and effort into this situation, this relationship, this career, this place I live, whatever it is, and making that change, answering the call, has been a very difficult decision for you, because I feel like a lot of time and effort has gone into whatever it is that, you're being asked to set yourself free. And because you thought it was going to be the Ten of Cups, but it's really not. And sometimes we get in these situations where we put in so much energy, and if we insist that, well, I can't afford to make that kind of mistake. I lost all those years, right? I put all that time in. I lost all that money. Like, you make an investment into something, and if you buy the money pit house, right? And you're like, oh my God, I've invested all this time and this money. If I just fix this one more thing, maybe this will be worth it, right? It's just like, oh my God, and then something else. And so there's some situation, or, so career, relationship, financial, whatever, that you have invested a lot of emotional energy into, because it's cups. But there's also other resources that have gone into it, and it's not panned out the way you want it to. And there's a call to make a change. Does not necessarily mean walking away from it. The winds of change are blowing. Change, you're being called to make a change. In the area of what have you been seeking information on? Well, you've been seeking something. We have the Daughter of Swords. You've been checking out a situation a lot. This is like, combing through the internet, checking out opportunities. This feels very much like spying energy. Really weird. I hardly ever get this energy. So it's like stalking social media. Maybe there's a company you want to work for, and you are going through all of the stuff that they have, their offerings, everything, and then doing the research on it. It could be that, and that's a good way to use this energy. There's something where you've been doing the deep dive on the research, and it is informing your decision. But the Three of Pentacles here, and how do you transform the situation? They're at the base, and here's the opportunity at the top. And so you're really laying the groundwork, the foundation for something. So if you've already put a lot of time and energy into something, it should be leveling up to the next opportunity. If it's not, it's time to be kind of looking at other things. So really focusing in on using your intuition. You have the High Priestess. You have the High Priestess in the area of what action to take. And so this is really getting in touch and in tune with your intuition. What does your intuition say? What does your gut say? What do you think you should do? Nope. What do you feel you should do? Thinking is probably what got you in trouble. Because you're stuck here in your resource area with the Eight of Swords. This is the butterfly that can't seem to come out of the chrysalis and shake itself free and let it go. All you got to do is dry off your wings and you can fly free. There's nothing holding that butterfly there. It's just not ready to go. So in the area of resources, that's your emotional resources, that's your time, that's your financial, it's your self-worth. Interesting. So in your heart, you know you need to make a decision. You hear the call. You know that a change needs to happen. You've got butterflies, which are about change. You've got the wind of change. And in your heart space, you have the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands is making a decision. It's knowing that there are these two options and trying to determine which way to go. And the energy to anchor yourself into this week is the energy of the Three of Cups. And so the Three of Cups really invites you to choose what feels like home, what feels like community, what calls to your soul, what brings joy. Look at these colors. These are the colors of security, of creativity and joy, and of being able to shine out there in the world. Where do you feel like that? Because that should really help you with this decision-making process that you're working so hard on and using your intuition to get there. So this week, that full moon, I think, really launches you towards something that is of great value to you. Great value. And value isn't always about money. And I think that the older we get, the more we realize that value really has to do with how do we view ourselves and our quality of life as opposed to how many toys we have. That moon starts off this week in your sign, Taurus, and you have happiness is at hand. You are being asked to choose joy. Choose joy. That is what you're being asked to do. This week, the most important thing you do for yourself is you choose joy, whatever that looks like to you, right? That is the one to pick up, the one that you're going to light and ignite and have that Ace of Wands is when you say, this is the thing that fills up my cups of joy. A lot of cards coming out with that full moon energy. And again, so a couple of things. I started doing the 2023 sneak peek. Excuse me. 2023 sneak peek. And your video is out. No, yours is not, Taurus. I'm sorry. So yours will be coming out next week, so be on the lookout for that. I haven't done yours yet, so I have no idea what it is. So I've started doing that. There is a list on the community page of the ones that I've already put out. And then the other thing, at 7:30 p.m. on Sunday night, so on the 4th, at Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time Zone US, I premiere the video that has the full moon reading in it. So whether you catch me on the premiere and you do join in the live chat or you catch it later, there are more cards there because you have the card of release. Okay? It's a full moon. It is about releasing. And so then we have your card of patience and then gateway. Wow. There's a need to release one of these wands, right? And then I think it's going to take patience to grow and develop what you want, but you will be coming through this gateway. Look at that unicorn. The unicorn is magical. It is an opportunity. You actually have another full moon eclipse happening in your sign a year from now. So much like Taurus, it takes a while. And I think it almost feels like that leads you toward this gateway. And so the choice and the decision you make now, the pace may seem very slow this year as you build toward it, but you like things to move at that kind of a pace. So I think that makes it more comfortable. So I think the decision time is here. It's time to release one of these wands. At least it's time to decide that you need to release one of these wands. And it is in doing that, moving toward the happiness, that you end up being very successful using the energy this week. The winds of change are blowing. Spirit is trying to move at Taurus pace to help you to get where you want to go. You know that phrase, I love you to the moon and back? You have the card of to the moon and back. Okay, couple of things coming through on that. One, this feels like the universe is saying I love you to the moon and back. Two, it feels like from one eclipse to the next. I do feel like this is like a year. I do feel like you have a year transition toward what you want. That does not mean you don't have successes along the way, that there are not steps. You're laying a foundation, 3 of Pentacles. But to get to the top, to create, whatever, there's time frame involved here. There is some timing, but now is the time to start laying the foundation. Now is the time to decide what you want. The only place where you're stuck is up in your head. This is the head, heart, and action. So up in the head, in the area of resources, you're stuck in your head. And I really think if you get into your heart and you choose what makes you feel happy, you will make the right choice for you, whatever that looks like. So that moon in Cancer has sweet energy to begin with this week, but I think it's a great opportunity also for you to let the people in your life that you value and you care about, let them know this week. I think that'll be a nice way to use that energy. All right, I will see you guys back here next week. I'm on Facebook every day, and by the time I see you next week, your sneak peek into 2023 will be out, and yeah, I'm really curious to see how that's going to go. All right, you guys take great care, and I'll talk to you soon.